Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 17 in the book of Revelation. Today's title is Being Found in the Book. Specifically, the book of life. Now, what is the book of life? Well, I did a little study on it this morning, and I'm going to kind of summarize what the Bible says about the book of life. Our official passage is from Revelation chapter 3, verses 5. That's where it kind of comes up for the first time in Revelation. The one who conquers will be clothed thus in white garments, and I will never blot out his name from the book of life. I will confess his name before my Father and his angels. So there we learn that there's a permanence to this book, and there's this epic time reference that are used, and these conquering names will be confessed and spoken before the Father and the angels. Then in Revelation 20, verse 12, he says, I saw the dead, great and small, standing before the throne, and books were opened. And then another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged by what was written in the books according to what they had done. And verse 15, and if anyone's name was not found in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire. And then in 27, it's talking about the new heavenly kingdom, the new Jerusalem kingdom, but nothing unclean will ever enter into it, nor anyone who does what is detestable or false, but only those who are written in the Lamb's book of life. Then there's a reference in Philippians 4:3, and I ask you also, true companion, to help these women who have labored by my side with me in the gospel, together with Clement and the rest of my fellow workers, whose names are in the book of life. All right, so the names seem to be written in the book of life a long, long time ago. That is before the foundations of the world. So here's the thing that just rocked my world today. If you are a believer, your name is already in the book of life. It's unsnatchable. It's permanent. It's imperishable. It's eternal, and based on his strengths. But here's the crazy one. If you are not yet a believer, in other words, if you've stumbled across this podcast and you don't believe in the Lord, here's the thing. Your name might be in the book of life. It might also be there. It depends on your response to the call. And you can confirm his call by agreeing and asking and believing, but your name might already be there. Well, who knows is a rhetorical question. I'll give you an answer to it. Well, God knows. The real question is, do you know if your name is in the book of life? Well, how awesome that you don't know that your name's in the book of life, and it is in the book of life. So what do you got to do to access it? Well, like all things spiritual, it's by belief, it's by faith, it's by confession. You know, it doesn't appear like it's there with any last-minute scribbling no, it's orderly and sovereign. So Christian names are currently written in the book of life. So all names for all times are already written in his book. This just demonstrates God's sovereignty, and God knew from the beginning. And the only ones who don't know from the beginning is us. So the charge is, hey, let's get busy knowing. And if you don't know if you're in the book of life, let's ask God today. You know, ask kindly and hopefully and humbly, Lord, can I be in your book of life? Will you have me? He's been waiting for you to ask and receive and believe and agree. Now remember, this is not a book of merit on one hand. No one merits being worthy to be in the book of life. Who deserves to be there? Nobody. None of us earned our way there. No one. And on the other hand, it is a book of merit. Well, what do we mean by that? Well, it's his merit, his earning, his accomplishments, and his works. This book is named specifically the Lamb's book and the slain's Lamb's book. So it's the book of the life of the Lamb. So the book of life is directly related to the slain Lamb. So your life is based on the given life of Jesus. Your life is traded for the Lamb's life. So your book of life that you want to be in is ironically a book of death, but it's also his resurrection. So your book is his book. It's a book of consequence, and it results in admission to the heavenly kingdom and presence of God. And there's a consequence for not being in the book of life. And that means there's a book of judgment. It is a book that it is that you are on your own merits during judgment. The great and small go before this judgment. And unfortunately, you get justice if you're not in the book of life, because the standard is perfection. And there's this lake of fire. So your name is either in the book or not in the book. So the charge is, hey, be in the book. So today, the book is the slain lamb's book. The sacrifice, the slaying are specifically associated with it. It's a book of life. It's the life of being with God. And without it, it's this being thrown into this lake of fire. So in the absence of one's name in the book, there's this absence of life. So there's the book of life that is used in heavenly judgment. And it's in conjunction with, or an alternative of the book that has everything you've ever done. You don't want to be judged by that book. So the book's names are written in before the foundation of the world. So the charge, the call is, hey, let's be found in the book. Let's not be thrown out of his presence. Let's be found in the book of life. If that's you today, if you're already a believer, unsnatchable, permanent, and imperishable, fantastic. And if you're not yet a believer, your name might still be there. You should do something about it today. Let's all be found in the book. Thanks for listening.